Hey everybody, John, Pythons for Us. This is clutch number 4 for this year, this season. It was my Pastel Enchi female paired with my male Super Pastel Pied. And now, if you follow my other videos, you've probably seen this female before. Here, I'll take a look at her. So, if you watch some of my other videos, follow them. You've probably seen this female before. I think I, had a video on her lockup with the killer pied, and you saw her ovulation, you saw her prelay shed, and I think most recently you saw her lying inverted, and now you see her post lay. And this poor girl's been through a lot. In fact, the reason you didn't see me pulling the eggs is because we actually had a little trouble getting them. I've been watching her real closely, as I do all my snakes, but especially the females that are gravid, and especially when they're around their due dates. And at one point I checked on her and she appeared to be done laying. She was lying there, very nicely coiled, like usual. There's no extra movement at all. She just looked fine, looked like she was done. But I still like to wait a little bit to make sure. So I just kind of checked on her, I don't know, maybe every 15 minutes or so for about an hour, and she looked pretty much exactly the same every time I checked on her, just kind of sitting there quietly on top of what appeared to be eggs. So seemed to be done. So I went in and I started to pull her off, but I only saw 4 eggs, and I had palpated her for at least 6, if not 7. So I thought it was a little odd, but I decided to just put her back on her eggs, of course, and leave her alone for a while. And I don't know, I guess it was about an hour later I came back, and once again she looked done. So I picked her up, and sure enough, this time there were 5 eggs. But again, I thought for sure she had at least 6 or more. And I don't know, by now something just didn't seem, I guess, quite right. So this time I pulled her out and completely off the egg, so I wanted to check her out, and sure enough there were 2 more eggs really high up in her body, where they would be as the number 6 and 7 eggs, still in that position. So I took the 5 she'd already laid. I went ahead, put them in the incubator, and I went back to her, and I don't know, I just tried to gently massage the egg that was the lowest one down to see how maneuverable it might be. And after a little bit of working, just really gentle massaging, it looked like it would come down without much work. So I just massaged it gently, and it did. It came down pretty easily. So I brought it down to her her cloaca, and then I went back to the topmost one, the 7th egg, and I just could not get that one to budge. I mean, it wasn't going anywhere, and there was a great big bulge up there. But the 6th one seemed like it was properly positioned and good to go, so I just decided to leave her alone and kind of let nature take its course. I kept a close watch on her, and I checked in on her every so often, and I don't know, maybe about an hour and a half or 2 hours later, the 6th egg did finally come out. So I took that one out, and I looked at the last one again, and there had been no movement whatsoever in that egg. It was still way up in, let's call it, 7th position. So I took her out. I gave her a warm bath, tepid bath, for geez, I don't know, 30 to 40 minutes. And I put her back in her tub, and I just left her alone, but I kept an eye on her the whole day, but nothing happened that entire day, and decided I would leave her overnight. But, you know, kind of mentally, I was fully prepared to, in fact, you know, expecting to have to bring her into the vet the next morning to get an ultrasound and see what was going on, and I don't know, maybe even end up getting the egg aspirated or something. But thankfully, overnight, she did lay it herself. So, you know, everything seemed to work out. So let's leave her alone. So, you know, I went ahead and I candled all these eggs, including that boob egg, and the boob egg has kind of weak veins, but definitely has veins, and all the other ones were fine. This one up here, the very last one, this one was the one that was the biggest problem egg. I just kind of marked those two with X's. And this egg, when it first came out, honestly, it actually looked pink. And so I was wondering if maybe that has something to do with all the stress of her getting that out. But, you know, not really sure what happened, but it took almost 48 hours to get those last 3 eggs out all in. But, you know, the mom seems to be okay, and that's all I'm really concerned about, honestly, is her health. And I mean, of course, I hope all these babies are healthy as well. But anyway, I just wanted to share this, let you know, sometimes stuff like this happens, and you know, I think I did the right thing by letting nature take its course, but by, you know, stepping in a little bit there to help get those last 2 eggs out. Maybe that the massaging and the bath might have helped. But I'll keep you posted if anything does happen with these eggs. Otherwise, I guess come back in 55 to 60 days and we'll see what we got. With this pairing, I guess ideally we're hoping for super pastel Enchis that would be het for pied, and then hopefully we can just get some various Enchi pied or maybe pastel Enchi pied combos down the road. And I guess you know, one of the other things I'm trying to remember to say more often on some of my videos is just kind of keep in mind that any snakes that I sell or produce and sell, 100% of the proceeds do go to fight childhood cancer. So hopefully we get lots of healthy babies, and people are interested. So maybe we can raise a bunch of money for childhood cancer and research and kids that have cancer. And you know, that's what Pythons R Us is all about. That's why I do this. And in addition to it being a real kick in the pants and fun, trying really hard to make this hobby pay off for kids who aren't as fortunate as all of us sometimes. All right, this video turned out being a lot longer than I thought it would be, so I'll cut off now. Thanks for watching.